Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 11 of the July daily draws. So as we close out the week and approach the weekend, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from the Unfolding Path Tarot, followed by an Oracle card from the Enchanted Map Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. This is the King of Swords. So this is about being confident in our ideas, being able to form a strategy and implementing that strategy, directing others where necessary to be able to help us fulfill those ideas, to be able to clearly communicate and get the job done. We are in charge of our own ideas, and the King of Swords tells us that we are the ultimate one in charge of the fulfillment of any ideas that we have. Yes, we may enlist other people's help and support, and sometimes we may need some assistance from others. But ultimately, our ideas are our ideas, and if we're going to express them into our lives, into our life journey, we are in control of that. We are the ones that direct our ideas and choose and decide how those ideas take shape and shape us and our lives. So this card comes to just remind us that whatever ideas and concepts we formed in our mind, whatever strategy that we have developed towards a certain goal, we're the ones in charge of that. Even if it involves other people, we are in charge of that. So we make the decisions, we make the choices, we communicate what we need to communicate. And through all of that, that's when those ideas can be turned into reality. So that's what the King of Swords is confident in his ability to do this, to be the master of his own strategy and ideas and plans. And we should be shaping our own plans and ideas in accordance with our own vision in regards to our lives and to our goals that we've set for ourselves. So we need to have that clear communication that the King of Swords possesses. We need to have the clarity of mind about what it is we want to achieve. So we need to have that clear focus and idea about what it is that we want to achieve and how we want to get there. And even if we have to adjust our plans to fit changing circumstances, this is something that the King of Swords is very good at doing. And that's what we may need to do. We need to be adaptable. We're not, the King of Swords isn't fazed by such things. That if circumstances change where his original plan doesn't quite fit the circumstance anymore, he adapts and molds and shapes his plans to take that into account. He can think very clearly and quickly on his feet where necessary. Some quick thinking, smart thinking. He has that. And as far as we're able, that's what we should be doing. And even when he knows, when he's reached his limitation about his own knowledge and ability, he's smart enough to know when to trust in the wise advice of someone else, perhaps, to seek their counsel and assistance. But ultimately, he's the one that chooses to bring that into play. and he knows who to ask. He knows which source to go to for the right kind of help and information that he needs. When he doesn't, when he's aware that he is, although he's in charge, and although he's very mindful of his plans, and he does have a certain degree of knowledge, he knows it's not endless, and he knows that some other people may know details and crucial information that he doesn't possess, but he knows where to get it, and that's the difference. That's it. So we don't have to know all the answers, but it helps if we know where we can find the answers that we don't possess, and that's the kind of skillful sort of dexterity of mind and decision making that the King of Swords has, that we may need to be emulating. So I believe that's what this card is saying, is be confident in your own knowledge and abilities of communication, of developing ideas and putting them into practice, realizing that you're in control of the ideas that you have and how they're implemented and made a reality. And you also know where you may need assistance. You know, you're not too arrogant to know that you can do everything yourself. No, the King of Swords is wise enough to realize that there are certain things that he can't do, but he can enlist others to help him implement his plans and give him the bits that he's missing. That's the wisdom of the King of Swords, and that's the kind of wisdom that we need to possess. Okay, so let's see which Oracle card we get to go with that. Peaks of Joy. We've had this card already. Sometimes the peaks of joy come through the successful application of our ideas. When we work smartly, when we work with knowledge and wisdom and confidence, we'll have the joy of fulfilling ideas and seeing them being made a reality in our lives. But it's down to us to make the right choices, the decisions, to say the right things, to do the right things, to have that knowledge and wisdom that we need in order to get to that joyful conclusion of the fulfillment of those ideas that which we have conceived and developed. That's where the achievement comes from. So let's be in control of how our ideas are made reality, using all the knowledge and wisdom we've talked about, so we can have the peaks of joy of our fulfillment at the end of it. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 12. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.